is Node.js? Node.js is a runtime environment for JavaScript that runs locally on any machine instead of the browser. This way, JavaScript can run without a sandbox and can do things that you can do in any other programming language with the security protections of the operating system. It's used to build backend services, also called APIs. And the key differences between browser JavaScript and Node.js include console statements. So in Node, console statements write to the terminal, and in browser JavaScript, console log statements log to the web browser dev tool console. Another difference is in syntax. Browser JS uses ESM or ES modules. Standard syntax, where it uses import/export, versus Node, which uses CommonJS, CJS, which uses require /exports. Another difference is APIs. So a browser JS mostly interacts with the DOM or web platform APIs in the form of things like cookies that don't exist in Node. Node, however, interacts with APIs via modules in the form of things like file systems that don't exist in the browser. And then another key difference is the environment. So Node allows you to control the environment through choosing the version of Node to use or other variables of the environment, whereas browser.js is at the mercy of whatever browser is being used. So those are some core differences in what Node.js is. And the V8 engine. So Node uses V8 to translate JavaScript code given to it by the coder and executes it in the CPU. Meanwhile, Node provides all the things that V8 lacks to execute the code, such as built-in modules and event loops. Key use cases for Node.js would be prototyping and agile development, and building super fast and highly scalable services, such as large enterprise apps like Netflix and PayPal. The difference between CommonJS and ES modules. So the big difference between CJS and ESM is that CJS loads everything synchronously at once, pausing the running of code while Node loads that module and runs top-level code, while with ESM, you as the coder request what you need specifically, and ESM provides just what you've asked for. This means that you can use a top-level await with ESM, but CSJ or CJS requires callbacks, promises, or wrapping to get the same async behavior. So you can use CJS for small or simple scripts, while you would use ESM for tree shaking or top-level await. The syntax difference, like I mentioned before, CJS tells Node which module you need and provides that module with everything inside it, whereas ESM uses import and tells JS exactly which functionality you need from the specific module. And then for exporting, or ESM or CJS module.exports allows you to decide what goes into the export so it can be called later in a single require call, whereas ESM exports uses the term export, which allows you to name each export individually, so you can call each function by name later or mark one main export with export default. This way, tree shaking can happen with any unused exports. What are the main differences between Node and browser JavaScript environments? So first, comparing global objects. So Windows for the web browser and global for Node are similar in that anything assigned to them is available throughout your program in either the web browser or Node. Process in Node keeps track of current runtime instances, like where you are in the code, memory usage, secret keys, and listens for special signals. _dir name and _file name let you know which folder you're in and which file you're currently working in. And then discussing file system access capabilities. Node allows JS to have CRUD functionality of the user's disk, local computer files, whereas Broswer.js, which only allows JS to retransform and write files and slash directories in browser managed storage in the sandbox. And then in Node, you have the event loop and asynchronous programming. Node allows the server to keep receiving requests by doing quick tasks and handing off any slower tasks to the libov helper. Slower tasks are wrapped in a promise by the coder or Node's API. When the helper is finished with the slow task, it puts the task in Node's callback queue. When Node is in between tasks, it checks the callback queue, runs the first callback in the queue, resolving the promise. Then it executes all tasks in the microtask queue like the .then promise handlers that resulted from the execution of the callback. Then it goes back to execute any quick task or the next task in the callback queue. The event loop allows Node to handle multiple requests by using asynchronous programming. And I think I answered all the questions, so thank you.